It's now time for Party Chat Sports.
The only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I know we're a day early, but it's never too early to be thankful. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Gill, Dillon, Schroeder, Drew Nelson here at Party Chat Sports. We'll see if Cam Braun joins us this week. And we've got a lot of things to talk about. We've got a lot of football, Thanksgiving football to discuss. Speaking of Thanksgiving, I do want to say thank you. I am thankful for everybody that subscribes, that enjoys our content, that watches everything. If it's on TikTok, if it's on YouTube, if you're listening on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, thank you. We appreciate it. We enjoy being able to put out content. This is a blast for us the last 3 years now or so that we've been doing this, and we're loving it, and we're thankful that you guys are enjoying this as well. So this Thanksgiving, I want to extend that thanks to you guys as the listeners and the subscribers and the followers. Also this week, before we get to the NFL, it's hate week, baby. It's been a long time coming for Ohio State to whoop some Michigan candy ass. 2019 was the last time I got to enjoy an Ohio State win. Now, granted, I have watched. I've watched more Ohio State victories over that team up north than I have losses. So I'm okay with that. 2020 would have been an ass whooping as well. We would have hung 100 up on Michigan, like Ryan Day said. Right. If Michigan didn't, pansy out and didn't want to get sick or whatever that disease that was going around nationally and globally, like whatever. If Michigan didn't chicken out of that game, Harbaugh would have been canned. I was wondering if you were going to bring that up.
It's a cool background.
It's a great game. It's the greatest rivalry in college football, college sport, and sports. There's nothing like it. I mean, you just living in the area. Dillon's not even an Ohio State or Michigan fan, and I know that you feel the rivalry just from being in the area.
You grew up being Michigan, Ohio State on that first Saturday at noon, man, and it didn't matter. And I did grow up. I wasn't always a Georgia fan. I had my allegiances to actually both sides at one point in time when I was very, very young. But it's the game. They call it the game for a reason. The country watches when it's on.
Yep.
And then they're most of the time they're ranked. Most of the time they're the top two in the Big Ten. I mean, throw all that extra hatred in on top, and it's a hell of a game every time.
It usually is. Now, granted, during those urban years, there was some doozies. There was Dwayne Haskins blowing out Michigan. Justin Fields playing hurt. Yes, R.I.P. Justin Fields playing hurt and still throwing a dot to Garrett Wilson. Like, this is a game where legends are made. Chris Olave. Never heard of the guy. He was a freshman. What's he do against Michigan? He makes a name for himself. He made a name for himself. Blocked punt. He had a touchdown. He had like 3 big plays in his first Michigan game. And from there, a legend was born, and he became one. He started, or was the beginning of that trend of great Ohio State receivers. From Michigan, Desmond Howard, Charles Woodson. I mean, just hitting the Heisman. There's so many legends that have played in this game that have marked and put their stamp on their careers by saying that we got some golden pants. We have won that game, the game. And before I let Drew take it away for a minute, I do want to say, as an Ohio State fan, I am more nervous this year than I was last year. Last year, I was not nervous. I'm like, we got this. We are ending the streak. Like, this is the year. And then we only scored 10 points. And I think because of how it went last year and my confidence I had going into last year's game is why I'm nervous this year. Like, the first year Ohio State or Michigan ended that drought. It was 8, 9, almost 10 years that Michigan had not beaten Ohio State. And that first year, I'm like, all right, got to give it to him. It was due. The second year, it's like, all right, I get it. Then year 3 comes. It's like, all right, Kyle, McCord, what was that? What are we doing out there? Last year, it was tough. So I'm ready for some vengeance this year, but I would be lying to you if I told you I wasn't scared and nervous for the outcome of this game, just because you never know what tricks, if they've been keeping Bryce Underwood under wraps, what are they going to unleash this week? Who's going to come out hitting fast?
Everybody.
And I think the key to this game for both sides is a fast start. Like, whoever gets the ball first, you got to score that opening drive and help get that fast start. That's going to be huge for both sides of this game because it's always a battle. It's every year for the past 20, 30 years or so, I think. It's whoever wins in the trenches, who has the most rushing yards wins the game. That's the trend. So you got to win up front. You got to start fast.
The good thing for Michigan is this game is played on grass and not paper, and that's been beneficial. Definitely last year when we had a walk-on cancer survivor at quarterback who went into the horseshoe and got a win, but now quarterback situation is still better. Has Bryce Underwood been fantastic? No. But he's still a freshman. He's still extremely young, and he's still better than what it was last year. And same kind of deal.
Like forward pass.
This game is played on the grass. Like last year, there was no reason for it to be even a close game, and obviously Michigan ends up pulling it out. So that's part of what makes this game so great. Is it heightens both teams. I mean, both teams. This is the Super Bowl. This is the game. This is, for a lot of people, it means more than the national championship in some aspects.
We've had this debate multiple times where
you have to win this game, and so it brings the best out of everyone playing. Obviously, Michigan's going to need that again because on paper, as I was alluding to, they are the much worse team. But when you get out on the field and you rage bait Ryan Day into only running the ball because we call them soft, then you can pull out a couple wins like that. So, I think it really comes down to if Ryan Day is crying or trying to prove he's a big tough guy, or if he just lets his team play how they normally play. So and Michigan needs their running backs to be healthy. They were on running back like freaking 6 last week. I don't know what was going on there. So they need
wide receivers too need to be healthy.
Hopefully
Jeremiah and Carnell Tate are both questionable at the moment, though. Jeremiah Smith.
They're playing.
Yeah, they're probably playing, but still,
they're still not.
Everyone
they might not be 100%.
Dead. Everyone who's not actually broken bones and torn muscles.
They're
playing.
They're suiting up.
So this will be. I imagine this will be another good game. It has the potential. There is the potential for it to be a blowout. As I said, Ohio State's obviously the number 1 team in the country. Probably the best roster on paper of any team in the country. So if they can take advantage of that, they should. If we're just going off how you would judge any other game, Ohio State probably wins this one. But as we mentioned multiple times, it doesn't play out like other games usually. So should be fun.
I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good game, and either way, as long as we get the dub, I'm calling it a good game. If it's a blowout, if it's close,
don't matter. Win's a win.
And we've had a lot of conversations like this game. We'll only spend a few more minutes on this, but I think it's a pretty big topic. I think it warrants the conversation here today. The game, in some people's eyes, and I understand it has lost its luster because of the expanded playoffs, and a lot of people say it doesn't matter as much because hypothetically these two teams could play again. There's a scenario where Michigan wins, makes the playoffs, and these two teams face each other again. That one would.
There's a scenario they play each other next week in the conference championship.
Yeah,
actually.
there's a scenario. We're going to see this a lot over the next decade or so, as long as these two teams continue to be top programs in the Big Ten, where you could see each other 3 times in a season. Like, there is that possibility. If you see each other end of the year, Big Ten championship game, and somewhere in the playoffs or the Natty. And I hate that because I want to play you once. I want that game to mean something and be special. And Cam and I have had this argument multiple times in the chat because I look at the rivalry in a different lens than he does. And his lens is it doesn't matter as much because of the expanded playoffs. And at the end of the day, we still won the Nat. We're still national champions. And that's what college football is supposed to be about. I love history.
Cam will sit up here and tell you that rivalries are the most important thing in all of football if Ohio State wins this game, and then when they lose and then they win the Natty, he's like, oh, but we're Natty champs, so the game doesn't matter. It matters.
That does play.
Okay, it is a top 5, borderline top 2, and it's not number 2 rivalry in this country in all of the sports. Yep. Yankees, Red Sox, you name it. It is Michigan, Ohio State. I mean, that's what this is.
And coaches have been fired because of their performances in this game. Like Brady Hoke was okay, but he couldn't beat Ohio State. What makes Jim Tressel and Urban Meyer look so good as Ohio State coaches is the fact that they dominated the team up north. And the reason why, even though Ryan Day has a 90-plus win percentage, one of I think the best win percentage in the country, the reason his name is constantly involved in, is he going to get let go, is because of his lack of success in this game, with only 1 win coming in 2019. So it just means that, for those that are not from here,
lack of success with a much better roster as well.
Yeah,
so should be an important note.
Well, again, 90-plus win percentage, and still can't beat the team up north. Mm-hmm. It just means
and this game's in Ann Arbor this year, so.
Yep. Speaking of games being played in the state of Michigan, our game of the week, the Thanksgiving opening game, the Lions and the Packers. That's our game of the week this week. The Lions didn't look as good last week. They had some moments where the defense was just letting people get wide-ass open, butt naked open. And Jordan Love is going to... They were open, dude. Jordan Love's going to heave some ducks into those holes. And there's going to be some room for him to find somebody to come down with the pass. I mean, if Jameis Winston was finding Wan'Dale Robinson alone in his own area code.
Hey, don't hit on Wan'Dale, man. Don't hit on Wan'Dale.
I'm just saying, that's how open he was. There was nobody else within, a 20-mile radius.
Jameis Winston was open.
Jameis Winston was. And then he stiff-armed the defender. The Lions need to play better defense.
And then he did a cool dance into the end zone.
Yeah. Let that man play tight end. Let that man play,
regardless.
The Lions also had a drops problem. Jared Goff wasn't his greatest, but also a lot of it was drops. Amon-Ra St. Brown had at least two drops. Jameson Williams had at least 1 or 2 drops. It was not the greatest performance. You'll see the score. It's the Lions put up 30-plus points. How many of those came in the fourth? How many of those came when they were trailing? They needed a miracle there at the end. And I know the Lions haven't had the most luck on Thanksgiving, and we're getting into Toyota-thon, so hypothetically, Jordan Love should start playing a little bit better. This is a big game for the AFC or NFC North. Dillon and I were playing with the 2025 NFL playoff machine before we hopped on, and I currently have the Lions as a 3 seed in the NFC North, and the Packers the Packers not me. This game would change all that. It would change how I feel about the Packers moving forward and the Lions moving forward. This is in Detroit on Thanksgiving. It's supposed to be the Lions game, and yet, Dillon, could you look up their overall record on Thanksgiving real quick? Because I don't think it's that good. I don't think it's that good.
Well, they themselves have not been very good.
No, but I even think in the Dan Campbell era, they dropped a few. They dropped, was it a year ago or 2 years ago? They almost lost to
They have a
Williams.
losing record. They are 38 and 45 and 2 ties. They've played 85 Thanksgiving games. That's a ton.
That's a lot of things. That's, yeah.
But yeah.
And I'm not saying that they need to look like the 85 Bears out there against the Packers and Jordan Love, but you have to be able to shore up the defense. You can't let Dobbs and Watson get open. You can't let Jordan Love's ducks come into the hands of the Packers receivers. And the Lions receivers need to catch a pass. You cannot rely on Jahmyr Gibbs going balls out crazy, 200-plus yards on the ground, or not just on the ground, but like total yards. Like, you can't just rely on that this week. You need more. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be a beast. He's going to get his touches. He's going to make some plays. He's had 2 or 3 hat tricks this year. Like, he's Offensive Player of the Year.
Pretty good.
And he's in contention for that.
It's pretty good.
But you can't rely on that. You need everybody else to step up around you this week, because now Thanksgiving is, now to the end of the year, is these games matter more than the games prior. It's crunch time, baby.
Speaking of Gill, by the way, your preseason Offensive Player of the Year prediction was Jahmyr Gibbs, in case you forgot.
I did. I'm going to look up the odds real quick while you guys talk about this game.
Yeah, I guess real quick. The Lions, regardless of this game, need to find a future quarterback solution because Jared Goff has so many ups and downs, and he's just so inconsistent. And at this point in his career, you kind of know who he is. He's going to have some really good games, and he's going to have some stinkers. Regardless of that, the Lions, I've obviously turned this thing around in recent years, but they are going through some growing pains that we said that they would earlier in this season. They currently, as things stand here today, would miss the playoffs if the year ended right now. And so these games are super important, to them. They need to win this game. Just like they needed to beat the Vikings a few weeks ago when the Vikings went into their house and stole one from them. So they need to pull together, stop having these questionable starts to these games. Why you're letting the Giants hang around. They obviously have some issues on the defensive side of the ball. And, you're going to go as far on offense as your quarterback takes you. But the Packers are no slouch but they're also not perfect. The Packers have plenty of issues themselves. As I've previously stated many times, Jordan Love is not that good and throws duck balls over the middle of the field that if his wide receivers catch with varying degrees of OPI, he'll be fine. But we will see. Regardless, it's going to be a good game because these two teams are so evenly matched on paper. But as Drew said, this game will be played on turf. Not on grass, but on turf. But Lions on Thanksgiving, tails all the time.
Yeah, the Packers, the last time these teams played, was it week 1?
It was.
And the Packers whooped on the Lions, and that's when everyone was like, "Oh, we might be in trouble." And since then, the Packers have failed to build upon that performance. So we'll see. Again, that was a long time ago in the relative to football and football terms.
Week 1 lies.
A lot of things change. Week one lies. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, I think the Packers, both teams have issues that need to be solved. And you'll start late in the season like this. You start to be able to put together and know who teams are, right?
Unless so the Steelers.
As you're getting towards the playoffs, a lot of your flaws are very visible. And if you can't get a couple of these games to correct those flaws, a lot of times the playoff rolls around, you squeak your way in. I know from experience.
Or not.
I know from experience how this works. Squeak your way into the playoffs, and all of a sudden your biggest flaw all season is immediately exploited.
It's almost like those teams know what to target.
Yeah.
When
you get in the playoffs, you don't play any slouches anymore. Believe it or not. So
it's almost like that happened to you against a team that's in this game of the week.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's obviously Thanksgiving is normally already good
hostile
games.
Environment for the Packers though in Detroit on Thanksgiving. So.
Yep. Should be a good game. Both teams. I think we'll talk about the Cowboys Chiefs a little bit later, who are both like playing to save their lives and their seasons. This has a similar kind of aspect. I would say more so for the Lions because they are, like Dillon said, out of the playoffs right now. So they need to come out and play really the rest of the season like it's a playoff game.
But you can make that same argument for the Packers because right now, Packers fans have LaFleur's head on a stick, and they, walking up to his office with pitchforks, and they're not thrilled with Matt LaFleur right now. Like, he is... It feels wrong because he's one of the best head coaches in terms of win percentage in the NFL currently. They're 7-3-1, and yet he feels like he's on the hot seat, which doesn't feel right. I think all of us would be happy if Matt LaFleur was our head coach. I think we'd all feel pretty comfortable with that one.
That'd be great.
He's like Shanahan, but without the NFC championships.
Yeah.
Right. And the other, just one quick thing on the other side. Holy Hiroshima over there.
Whatever.
The Dan Campbell calling the plays has been a little better than I expected. Like, I know he's gotten some grief, but like the play calls where the flow of the game hasn't always been as bad as I thought it would be for a first-time head or play caller. He's got some kinks to work out, and I expected some growing pains with the new OC. But one thing that Campbell has been good at in his tenure is identifying, all right, who are my coaches and who's not. His first year, he had Anthony Lynn as his OC. Didn't work out. What'd he do? Cut or let him go and promoted Ben Johnson. This year, they promoted John Morton. He's seeing it's not working out, taking away play calling duties, and we'll see what he does with the hire next. I get why he went with a Morton because familiarity with the system, but I've been impressed with, at the very least, Campbell's ability to identify if something's working and when to pull the plug on something, and also his play calling for being a first-time play caller has been better than I expected it to be. And he looks like an old man now, like with the glasses. He looks like he should be reading a book or drinking tea out there.
He does.
Oh, petting a cat. All right. We've got 3 Thanksgiving games. That next one is the Chiefs and Cowboys. You got something else?
We are going to go briefly over the over-unders again. We're going to start doing this. We're going to start doing this every week after the game of the week. 2 teams sealed their fate this week. The Commanders and the Bengals are both locked into the unders for the year. Their lines are both at 9.5. They both only sit at 3 wins. So bad years to be a Commanders fan and a Bengals fan. Sorry for your downturn, but you have locked in on the unders. So the updated score, Cam with 3 correct. Drew on the board with 1. I have 2. Gill still with a goose egg on his predictions, 0 for 4. There are 9 teams that could seal their fate. A bunch that are 1 game away from being locked into the under, those being the Chiefs, 5.5 games left to their line, the Ravens, 5.5 games, the Cardinals, 5.5 games. And that's it for the unders. With 6 games remaining, they got to win out. And then a couple of teams are 1 win away from going in on their overs. That would be the Rams at 9.5, the Broncos at 9.5, the Bears at 8.5, the Seahawks at 8.5, the Jaguars at 7.5, and the Panthers at 6.5. So a lot can happen this week.
Yeah.
And that's back to you, Gil.
All right. And actually, I'm going to send it to Drew because a midday Thanksgiving game this week is Dallas hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. And this one, with the Chiefs playing better, kind of feels like a big one.
Well, as I mentioned before, it's a big one anyways because both teams are fighting to keep their season alive. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the Chiefs are still out of the playoffs as of right now.
Yes.
It feels extremely unlikely that they miss, but
they're the 10th seed.
Yeah,
for them to make the playoffs, they've got to start stacking some wins. Like, you cannot drop too many.
they're
I don't know what the entire AFC picture looks like, but I mean, you can't. 2 losses probably takes you out. and if it doesn't, you're fighting for your life. So still quite a few games left for both teams. Cowboys have a longer shot than the Chiefs, but still alive with quite a few games to go. I think the Cowboys are like 9 seed in the NFC.
They're both 10 seeds, actually.
We have
But
one less
Cowboys-
loss than the Panthers, so I think technically.
And it's high.
but you have one less win than the Panthers. So I think that. Listen, man, you're 10 on the NFL graphic. Okay,
But I think if we tied, that would be in our favor.
8%
I don't know.
playoff
It
probability.
doesn't show us like what the
Either
probability-
way, both teams need to win.
They do.
So it will be a good game. I think you kind of saw that a little bit for the Chiefs last week against the Colts. Like I said, they've got to play like it's a playoff game because they cannot afford to lose probably more than one game. Now this one's a little bit different because it is NFC versus AFC, so technically it's not as bad if you do lose this game.
This is the game to lose if they're going to lose one.
If you're going to lose one, but still, you obviously you don't want to lose. On Thanksgiving, you've got the former, what was their name, the Dallas Chiefs when they were in Dallas versus the Dallas Cowboys. So there's that going on. You got the Cowboys wearing throwbacks very beautifully.
Is it the white?
It's a very beautiful uniform game.
The white with the blue star?
The blue jerseys, the white helmet.
white shoulders,
Oh,
white helmet.
nice. Those are nice.
It's very tragic that
matchup.
I saw some mocks of, and I think older games too of color on color, which would have been cool. Throwback color on color specifically.
A lot of blue versus red we'd like to see on this particular weekend.
The Chiefs don't really have throwbacks if you think about it. I was thinking about this the
No,
other day.
that's-
They don't really have throwbacks. They have a
Yeah,
throwback helmet, which is the state of Texas.
Yep.
But that's it.
It's a little weird to wear against Texas, though. Against Houston.
It would be interesting, though. But anyways, should be a good game. Cowboys coming off, beating the fraudulent Eagles. I'll put that up there. And get out of the way real quick. There you go. Go ahead and look at that.
Look at that clown. Look like Pennywise out here. Such a
Cry,
clown.
Eagles, cry. Yeah. How about that? So yeah, beat those frauds. Defense, they let up 21 early, but we were spotting them. We spotted them 21 points. Said, here, hold on to that. Let us cook.
And then who cooked?
Defense held up.
Go ahead and specify who cooked.
Who cooked?
That dude.
George Pickens. Just something light. 9 catches, 9 targets, like 140 yards.
Rate for all pro wide receivers is a 3rd round pick. So I texted my Lions friend. I was like, "Hey, you want us to trade Amon-Ra for a 3rd round pick?" I hear that's the going rate. So he said no.
CD might be available for a 3rd round pick. He keeps dropping stuff. So
I'd take that.
It also helps that Xavier gets sold.
So again, it was good to see. Like, we saw improvements of the Cowboys defense against the Raiders, and it was like, that's the Raiders. Hold on a second. The Eagles have had some offensive problems. So again, it's like, that good job, but the Eagles also like to do this all the time. But still, you hold Saquon to get like 22 rushing yards. Obviously, A.J. Brown had a good game, but if he didn't have a good game, he might have like blown up the Eagles facility or something. So either way, showing improvement. Another chance right away, and then you have the Lions next week. So Cowboys, this is a great stretch of games to see. Okay, what kind of roster have you assembled at the trade deadline?
And if you can't win these games, you don't deserve to be in the playoffs anyway. Because you're just going to be playing these
playoff
teams.
games, so you got to win these. Yeah. That Quinn Williams addition has paid some huge dividends for you guys.
It's
it's really up short of the defense.
If they would have also traded for Minka,
Yeah.
if they would have also traded for Minka, you'd be fixed. I don't know.
I think so. The corners are still sus. Deron Bland, I don't know what he's doing.
Former DPOY.
Some games he plays great. Some games he plays like burnt toast. But yeah, so we'll see. The Chiefs obviously have some speed on offense. Got Rashee Rice, who's pretty nice. So we'll see.
Speed has never been
Great
an issue.
coaching as well. Chiefs have the coaching advantage. They probably have that over most teams. So speed has not been an issue for Rashee. Well, it was an issue, actually. It was a big issue. Got him suspended.
Depends on how you want to look at it. Getting to that speed has never been an issue. Just the consequences of when you do.
We should move on.
Good segue.
I don't want to move on.
Yeah, that's probably a good place to
Thanksgiving night. Thanksgiving night.
Ravens and the return of Joe Burrow.
Scheisse.
I think the Bengals could win this game. After watching the Ravens
I really hope so.
play against the Jets, my takeaway from the Ravens was they just don't look like they're really clicking right now. Lamar does not look healthy. There's a lot of times where Lamar would start to, he'd break away, and it's like, last year, he's taken the lanes, and he's not hesitating. He was very hesitant against the Jets. And
he's not a pocket passer, no matter how many times people want to say that he's a great thrower of football.
He's a good thrower.
That's not what makes him
one
of the better quarterbacks in the league.
He turns into very average if he's just a pocket passer.
And the Ravens just, defensively, they were okay. Again,
they have weaknesses.
The
Ravens are going on 3 weeks now of playing subpar teams and barely escaping. They were a little bit more of a barely escape, I feel like, against the Browns, but still, they it was still close. But anyways, this will be a test because Joe Scheisse is returning. But as we've seen with the Bengals this year, the offense has not been the problem. They will be without T. Higgins. So that's just putting even more pressure on Joe Burrow. Toe Burrow. But I think the franchise quarterback stepping back on the field should energize the group, and that'll have an effect even on that putrid defense. They're going to play a little bit more inspired. They're still not good, and don't get me wrong for saying that.
I'll give them credit for one thing though. They limited the Patriots last week.
They did.
They were able to hold off. If they had one of T. Higgins or Jamar Chase in that game against the Patriots, they probably win that game. The way that was playing out.
Yeah.
So, for as much crap as we all give the Bengals defense, rightfully so, there's been a few times this year where they've been able to hold their own.
And their safeties actually did something, which they have not been doing this year. There's still loud cries for Zach Taylor's head down here in Cincy Town, in Cincyville. Winning this game would go a long way to saving his job because, as we spoke at length about last week, Cincinnati is not in the business of firing coaches early to incur higher costs. They are very low cost, and they would look for any reason to keep Zach Taylor around. They absolutely would. So if they win this game, all of a sudden the conversation turns into, see, if you get him as franchise quarterback, he wins again, even though that's not necessarily the case. But regardless of record, it should be a good game because it's another one of those you throw things out the window when it becomes a divisional game sometimes, and teams play a little harder in this one.
I ultimately think the Ravens do win, but it's a coin flip almost for me, just because I don't know what to expect with Joe Burrow coming back. How does he look? Does he look healthy? Does he look comfortable? Because if he looks more comfortable than Lamar does, I kind of like Burrow more in this game than the Ravens. But the Ravens...
Yeah. Baltimore is a 7-point favorite, so it's not expected to be close.
I almost kind of like Bengals +7. I think it's going to be closer than a touchdown in this game. It should be.
But if we go back to Thursday night division games.
That's right.
Road team gets crushed a lot. That's just an NFL-wide statistic. There's no other. Don't read into it any further. But just saying.
I'm very interested to see what the Bengals look like because winning does go a long way. I think that's a big reason why they're pushing for Joe Burrow to play, because that's Zach Taylor's best chance of keeping his job. When Joe Burrow's out here, we're not 3-8.
No, they're 8 and 9. I
Sure.
think.
So
Anyway,
we'll see.
I mean, this
I'd
isn't.
love-
If
I'd love the
Burrow
Bengals
wasn't
to win.
playing, this would be a trash
it would be nothing. Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
The NFL probably pushed for it too. Like, hey, let's.
But
Kinda
at
need
the end of the
numbers.
day, when Burrow is playing, and now it's a on paper top 5 quarterback matchup.
Yeah.
So
But this also has the potential to be a fantastic, like, just had some dessert, fall asleep.
find a spot. If you get on the corner of the couch with the armrest,
Oh,
it may have the feet flip up if you're on the corner.
Jeez.
You're
Just
out.
speaking that into existence, man. It's gonna be crazy.
all right. Before we leave the Thanksgiving games, what's the plate looking like? What's that first plate looking like?
In
Like some
Montville,
turkey.
we're gonna have two Thanksgivings. We got a noon Thanksgiving that's got a lot of fixins, and a night and an afternoon evening Thanksgiving.
Yep.
The noon Thanksgiving will be turkey focused, mashed potatoes, cheesy potatoes. Go double on the potatoes, I think. Some of the casseroles that are in there, some gravy all over all of it. The evening Thanksgiving will be a change up of the protein. They're a ham at that Thanksgiving. So you get a little turkey, you get a little ham. Some dessert, of course. I'm an apple pie on Thanksgiving guy personally. So
See, I make a mean cheesecake. I make a good Oreo cheesecake. I make the crust.
a cheesecake on Thanksgiving is kind of crazy.
We've always just been cheesecake in our family, and
I don't hate it, but it's kind of crazy.
it is nuts. But yeah, I grew up a picky eater. My mom was a picky eater, so cheesecake is what we made, and I've learned how to make the Oreo crust, and it's delicious. Drew, what's your plate looking like?
I've already had two. Did early Thanksgiving
that's
on
right.
Saturday. So I had two Thanksgiving dinners on Saturday. You gotta get the turkey. I don't love turkey, but it's a Thanksgiving staple.
It's the bottom
So it's
of
whatever.
the meats, but it's the option that it is.
When Sage and I do it on our own, we usually do like a roast instead, which is good. But I'll do some turkey, throw some potatoes on there. Gotta have the corn, gravy, obviously. Big stuffing guy. Throw a lot of
love
stuffing on there.
Yep.
A lot of
We
stuffing
had
on
a
there.
stuffing
Some
conversation last night.
yep, some dinner rolls.
Ooh.
My mom made some apple crisp type deal. It's really good. It's really good. And I'm not like an apple pie fan. I'm not really an apple, like warm apple.
okay.
It's kind of weird to me. But that was really good. Pumpkin pie, of course.
I'm not a big
And then
pumpkin
for
pie guy.
the second
I'm
one,
50-50,
it was basically the same thing. Green bean casserole, forgot that. I'm a big green bean casserole person. Love me some green bean casserole.
Some of them, like if you get a nice cornbread casserole, like every family's got a little bit different, but the corn dish has some different versions to it, and it could be.
So you just good food all around. On Thursday, probably have a combination of the same thing.
Yeah. I am the only one in my family that really eats the dark turkey meat, so like I get a good chunk of
You're
that.
the one that
It's
likes
not like
flavor,
it's my
huh?
favorite. Yeah, I know. Like I'm usually the one that winds up with turkey leg, mashed potatoes, stuffing, like cheesy potatoes, some gravy for the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, some corn. My dad always does a ham. He makes a really good ham. So if I'm
I
over there, I'll
love
have
ham,
some
man.
turkey and ham. And my favorite part is always the leftovers. I always got to bring them home. I've got turkey sandwiches because I like turkey. I'll eat turkey sandwiches.
Leftover turkey sandwiches go crazy.
They do. That's actually my favorite part about Thanksgiving meal is the leftovers. I'll feast on those until they're gone.
A little mayo, a little salt, a sandwich.
That's interesting. I don't hate
What do you mean? What else
Like,
do
I
you put
never
on your
thought-
turkey sandwich?
well, like
Mashed
Lunch meat
potatoes,
turkey.
stuffing. Just make that thing
Or
thing
like
a
the-
Wawa
You
gobbler,
do that
man.
too. That would be also good.
The
the
Wawa
else
Thanksgiving,
can you
gobbler.
like
It's so
turkey.
good.
Yeah,
We are talking about football, though. I'll just steer us back
I
on
know.
track.
Talking about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's a Thanksgiving show. It's a
Dude,
Thanksgiving
I
episode.
could
They're
sit
going to
through
be
talking
eating
about it all
turkey
night.
after the game.
I could talk about this all night. That's why I need to steer the conversation.
Like, I will probably be eating turkey when we're watching the Black Friday football game between the Bears and the Eagles.
We all send each other the plates in the Snapchat chat, We'll get a couple of
I'm talking about the Eagles.
Yeah,
talking about the Bears real quick. Caleb Johnson.
Caleb Johnson? Which one?
Caleb Johnson did not get a single snap on offense last week, and I had to start him in a dynasty league. Bad week. Caleb Williams watch. I'll talk about the Bears for a hot second. I was very irate after that Steelers-Bears game for the simple fact is it was so winnable by the Steelers because the Bears did not play that well. If you look at that like success graph, it's like how bad were you beaten, and it's like the difference on the success. Well, the Steelers were on the far right because the Bears were so far below them, but the Bears still won the game, and that was just painful to see. Caleb Williams played a very up and down game in the sense of he threw 3 touchdowns, but he also missed a ton of open dudes, which also goes to the fact that it could have been even more lopsided than the final score was. Anyway, regardless, they had like 5 starters out on defense last week, and they did more than held their own. They had some guys playing with some spirit, but they are not an 8-3 football team, and they are on paper, or I guess they are on the field, but like they're not on paper. You know what I'm trying to say? They are not as good as they're not as good as their record indicates. But you could also probably say the same thing about the Eagles. And right now they are in the NFC North driver's seat. I mean, we just spent forever talking about Lions and Packers and how important that game is. This team's above both of those guys right now. So at the end of the day, they are winning football games. Ben Johnson is a brilliant mind, and I think he's got a great future at head coach. And on the Caleb Williams watch, I said last week he needs to average 238 yards for the rest of the year to hit his 4,000-yard mark goal. He threw for 239, so perfectly on pace.
Nailed it.
He's still only averaging 233 yards a game, but he needs to keep doing 239 the rest of the year, and he will end up at 4,000 perfect. So he's still only on pace for 3,968, but if he throws for 239 every week, he will keep increasing that and end with like 4,001 yard. So that is all.
Doesn't matter how we get there, we just got to get there.
Yep.
Yeah, Caleb Williams has just been very up and down. But, I mean, it's a new system. He's a young guy. He was always going to be a project. So,
I mean, he's what? He's year 2, right? Or
year 2.
Year 3?
Year 2.
Yeah, he's year 2, man. I mean,
right. And it's just
a lot of quarterbacks would
again,
kill to be where he is in year 2. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. If he's on pace, if all he has to do is average...
a Minnesota quarterback.
We're talking about a legitimate shot for him to hit the 4,000-yard mark. Like, no Bears quarterback's ever done that. You're cool with that in year 2, if you're in that conversation.
I'd say so, yeah.
On the Eagles side, last week, they just made a lot of dumb errors. It was fumbles. The Xavier Gibson one especially. Xavier Gibson continues to kill the Jets, I guess. Drop position. Yay. What are you doing, man? Why are you fumbling inside your own 5-10 yard line? Trying to see the connection. So the Jets have the Cowboys draft picks.
I'm very confused how we got to the Jets all of a sudden.
Yeah, it was Xavier Gibson was the guy that fumbled against the Steelers, and we lost against you guys.
Got it.
And he also fumbled against the Cowboys, and that's why they lost this game. See,
got it.
Where they got it.
Caleb Williams did fumble in the end zone on a TJ Watt sack. That did happen.
It did.
Classic.
Yeah.
Saquon fumbling.
Classic, actually.
Colston Loveland blocking him.
No. The tackle was blocking him, actually, that time.
Okay.
The Eagles, real quick, Eagles blew it. I think they still do they still control their destiny for the number 1 seed?
Number 1 seed?
No. Because the Rams have 1 extra win, and I don't think
I forgot about them.
The Rams, man. The Rams are legitness.
The Rams, we'll talk about them in a minute, but they took the mantle. If there was any question, any debate, it is now the Rams division conference.
The Rams conference.
I'm feeling pretty good. You want to give me shit for being 0-4 in the over-unders. I'm feeling pretty good about that Super Bowl pick right now. Just saying.
But the Eagles still have an issue.
Yeah.
They still have an offensive issue. It's reminiscent of what would have been 2023, 2024 when they went like 11-0 and then completely just collapsed.
Yeah.
After that, maybe they went 10-0.
They went
That was last year, right?
No, 2023 was they started 6-0, lost to the Jets, and then kind of started collapsing.
Oh yeah,
No, that was on the way to.
I thought
That was
went a little bit
22.
farther.
That was 2022
That was
because that was the year before they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. All these
I don't
years
know,
are
man.
getting mushed together.
Either way, they are prone to these collapses, and they haven't been playing complete games really at all throughout the season. I mean, you saw the same
can't
thing
run
happen
the
against
ball,
the
man.
Broncos. The Broncos had a massive comeback against them earlier this season. But yeah, they can't run the ball. Obviously, they have some offensive line injuries. But even with Lane Johnson and I forget how long Dickerson played. He might have even played in this game. Is that what Brady was trying to say?
He did. That was Tom Brady. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So even
What did he end up
they
saying,
haven't been
Dillon?
run-
I can't repeat that. Just think.
So they haven't been able to run the ball very well, and that was obviously their identity last year. That'll happen when you make your running back run for like 300 and some carries. So
Yes. Did they lose their All Pro center last year to this year as well? So that was last year, right? When did Kelsey retire?
I doubt he was an All-Pro.
Kelsey did not win the Super Bowl. Kelsey was not on the Super
Okay, so it was 2 years ago. All right, never mind. My bad. Strike that from the record.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about their new center. It's like Jurgensen or something.
No.
Yeah.
Not an
No.
All-Pro. So they've got a lot of work to do. Obviously, a lot of fans calling for their offensive coordinator's head.
And I've been calling for that one all year for them. Or not all year, but the last couple weeks I've started getting on the Kempatulu is not the guy.
Did Sirianni take back play calling, or did he give up play calling this year?
I don't
One of
know.
the two happened.
Did either? I don't remember that one.
Because I saw a tweet
so
that was
neither.
like he has given up play calling duties like 2 or 3 seasons in a row, and then he's like taken back play calling. Something happened. I feel like, but nonetheless, they have offensive issues. So
94
Not really a
W
play caller.
number 94 WIP in Philly says the Eagles must change the offensive play caller, and they're mentioning Patullo. Kevin Patullo says Nick Sirianni does not dictate his play calling. So I guess Patullo still.
okay, all right.
A day ago, Sirianni said Patullo will remain the Eagles'
So
offensive play.
Sirianni
He's-
ain't doing nothing, is what I'm hearing.
Just sitting over there looking like an idiot. Looking very punchable.
Doing this.
Yeah.
All right,
The Eagles are favored by 7 in this one.
we got a lot of games to get through in about 10 minutes. But
All right,
I think,
one of those games-
I think in this one, though, like we've continued to say, this should be a really good game. The Eagles will have the benefit of playing in Philly, and that seems to always benefit them the last couple of years in the Zebras and such. So that's all.
Sure does. All right, let's get to the Sunday slate. Rams, Panthers. We really don't need to talk about the Panthers because they
This
are
one could get
awful.
ugly.
But this is like
Well, they're 6-6. Don't be hating too hard on them. They're 1 win away from hitting the over. It won't be this
They're
week.
undefeated when they win the coin toss,
That's
Did not
crazy.
know that.
and they are defeated when they lose.
Like Brock Purdy threw three interceptions against the Panthers and still was not the worst quarterback to play in that game.
They also have a quarterback issue.
They have a major quarterback issue, and Bryce Young has had
They're
it.
going to be in like reclamation quarterback territory next year with like a Davis Mills or something. I don't know.
Justin Fields, Kyler
I don't
Murray.
know if Davis
Kyler Murray.
Mills falls into that category.
Tyler Murray.
Davis
maybe.
Mills is just a backup. He's just a career backup.
So
like a
listen,
journeyman.
it's just an example. Okay, you knew what I said.
Bad example.
It's not a
Sorry,
like
Kyler
Kyler would
Murray.
be a better.
Deshaun Watson.
Are we going to see? Is Stetson Bennett still the backup for the Rams? Are we going to see him in this game? Who's the Rams backup?
Is he the backup or third string? Don't they have
I want
Jimmy
to
G?
say
remember.
he's. I want to say he's third
He might be
string.
third. You might be third.
Jimmy G is the backup.
Oh, I forgot Jimmy G was the backup.
That's what I just
Stetson
said.
is the third.
I didn't hear you, Drew. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I don't think we want to see Jimmy G, though. That would make the Rams way less fun than they are with MV Stafford on the field.
So I looked at the updated odds for MVP, by the way. Stafford and May are still tied. No. Stafford's minus 220. May is plus 220. So Stafford's a favorite.
Stafford's minus 220? Dang.
Yeah. Stafford's balling out. We haven't seen like quarterback throw or have a touchdown interception ratio similar to Stafford since Rodgers was 40-4. Stafford's 30-2, I think. 30 something like that. And he's got a chance. I mean, just keep whipping that thing around to Nakua or Devontae Adams. Like, everybody's getting open. That C gap crosser that Nakua ran was nuts. Sean McVay is a mastermind. Like,
he's a genius, and I want to hire anybody that has ever worked for that man.
Well, that hasn't
or
worked
the
well.
Shanahan tree, right? That's
Zach
all Shanahan.
Taylor was part of that.
Not Zach Taylor. Sorry. He can be president of practice operations.
Mike McDaniel was part of the Shanahan tree.
I would take a Mike McDaniel OC, actually.
OC, sure. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, McVay's a juggernaut. What do you think they're favored in this game?
13.5.
10.5.
Dang.
You've been good.
That was almost 3 weeks in a row of 13.5 being the number.
It's because the Panthers will have games like this where they look terrible, and then they'll come out and they'll beat someone.
It is in Carolina.
Yeah, if you give them an extra 3 points for being at home.
Yeah, but that's not what FanDuel says. I think
they got 6 wins though. They're 6-6. I mean, don't the Panthers haven't had a great year for Panthers standards.
Yeah, they're in the hunt.
Was expected.
In the hunt graphic.
They killed a podcast and brought it back in the same year.
Those frauds shouldn't have been allowed to come back. They gave up.
A lot of people did not want them to. Did they actually come back?
They did.
I think
they came back a couple weeks ago.
And that's why they
beat them. I think they came back after they beat the Packers. Remember that, Drew? When they beat the Packers?
I do. Remember when they beat the Cowboys, too.
Yeah.
All right. I kind of already mentioned that Purdy threw 3 interceptions last week. Was not a good game for Purdy. They're playing the Browns this week, and I see it bounce back.
He might get sacked 8 times by one guy. That's the pace that the Browns games have kind of been on recently. So
they did get 10 sacks against Geno Smith last week. That is
and Shedeur looked decent against a terrible team, and I
really don't know what to take away from Shedeur.
I want to table that with we'll see what he does.
See it again.
Yeah, gonna have to see it again. But I forget who it was. Diana Rossini. She was happier that he played well than Shedeur was because she's just been on him all year, and just the nonsense that goes with it. But
I mean, good for him. First Brown starter to win their first game, their first start in 30 years.
99, I think it was, or maybe before that, 94.
Well, it's definitely the first Brown starter since the new Browns.
Since they came back to Cleveland.
I think the last time it happened, it was with the old Browns, or now the Ravens.
Yeah, last time it happened was with the Ravens. I want to see the 49ers 5.5 point favorites on the road. I mean, it's in Cleveland, and I feel like 49ers and Browns in Cleveland is usually favors the Browns. Wasn't it a year or two ago where the 49ers almost lost to the Browns in Cleveland? It was a missed field goal.
I'm not going to pretend.
No, Jake Moody missed a field goal for the 49ers, and the Browns lost, or Browns won.
Jake Moody.
Yep.
3rd round draft pick, Jake Moody?
Or
was he 4th round draft pick?
Either way, using a draft pick on a kicker is a bold choice.
It's hilarious.
Do we really need to talk about this game? Do we?
No.
All right.
No.
Texans Colts.
Is CJ
collapse.
playing? Is CJ playing?
Let me check what Twitter says.
I'll keep it going
no.
while you're looking at that. The Colts did collapse. When I left the house because I was mad at the Steelers, the Chiefs were Chiefs were losing like 20-9, and when I got back, they won the game. And I was like, what the hell happened here? Every time I looked at the game, it was just Rashee Rice or Xavier Worthy catching a pass wide open in the middle of the field and running for 20 yards. So what is happening here? Crazy that they pulled that one out.
The Colts, the game plan for the Colts, if their opponents have, it's one thing for the Chiefs to do it, who at least, they're a pretty solid team. But the game plan against the Colts for the rest of the season is make Daniel Jones beat you. The insanity of Daniel Jones is over. He has not played very well in his last few outings. So if you just can focus on Jonathan Taylor, and again, that's a pretty tall task. So you got to have some guys to be able to do that. But if you can kind of keep Jonathan Taylor in check and let Daniel Jones try to beat you, he will make mistakes.
Wouldn't the Texans be the defense to be able to do that, though? Don't they have one of the best defenses in the league?
They have the best defense.
I was going to say, I thought
Texans
it was like
can
top
probably
3.
do all of it.
Yeah,
they can keep him in check and keep Daniel Jones in check at the same time.
Like, there's a world where even if C.J. Stroud doesn't play, and according to Dillon Delgado, who said per Aaron Wilson, again, I don't know how legit some of these guys are, you just never know, but C.J. Stroud and defensive back Jalen Petrie are still in concussion protocol, but are both expected to clear this week and start on Sunday. That's the only thing I've seen so far in regards to Stroud, but either way, like, there's a chance Mills could come in. If the defense does their job, all Mills has to do is not lose the game.
I mean, they just beat the Bills that same way.
Yep. They did.
Mm-hmm. Let it be known, Cam is awake right now. Fuck.
What's he doing?
Anyway, it's stuff that concerns you.
Concerns me?
Yeah, that's what I said. Anyway.
Colts at home, they are getting into that. I mean, this is a division game. Like, you can't really drop these. The Colts have, I want to look at their next couple games. They have the Jaguars just next week.
The Colts really only got to worry about the Jaguars the rest of the way. That's their main concern. If they beat the Jaguars twice, I think they play them twice. I could be wrong. Double check, fact that for me, Gill.
I think that sounds right. But I'm going through.
Haven't played the Jags yet?
I don't think so.
So here's a Colts remaining schedule. Home against the Texans this week. On the road against the Jaguars. On the road against the Seahawks. At home against the 49ers. At home against the Jaguars. On the road against the Texans. So they haven't played the Texans or the Jaguars yet. And then they also have the 49ers and the Seahawks.
Yeah, those are 4 important games. Honestly,
that's pretty tough.
For them, they just got to focus on those 4 games. If they take 3 out of 4, they're in the playoffs, and they're winning their division, so they're fine. The rest of it really is noise, but yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes all it takes is losing 2 games in a row, and that's when you
kind of lose the mojo. The Chiefs and the Steelers have showed you how to beat the Colts, so the blueprint is there.
And related, the Texans have the defense to do it. I think it does come down to if C.J. Stroud is playing, I kind of like the Texans. Let me check the line real quick. Texans are 4.5-point underdogs. So Colts favorite at home, which makes sense. They're 8-3 against the 6-5 team at home. Like, they should be the underdogs, or the Texans should be the underdogs. All right, this game's going to be a dud. Saints, Dolphins. Who cares?
Next.
Dolphins 5.5-point favorites.
Tyler Shuck's not terrible. That's it.
No, but he's not that great. But maybe he can get a win or 2.
That's
I'm
fine.
cool with that.
That's fine.
Falcons, Jets. This game's probably going to be a dud. Jets showed life. Jets showed life, which was kind of fun.
They almost beat the Ravens, right?
There was a minute. If Breece Hall ripped off a huge screen play. and
he
was
usually
being
does.
held up at the 5-yard line when Marlon Humphrey ripped the ball out. And if Brees Hall scores, it's a 3-point game. So, and I can't fault Brees there. You're trying to score. You're being held up. There's only so much you can do. Like, yeah, hold on to the ball, but like,
That was like a
it's not for play.
14-point swing though, because didn't they go down and score a touchdown on that drive when they got the ball?
I think so.
So
that was kind of like coming out. The Jets were only trailing 7-3 at halftime.
Yeah.
Big positives though. John Mechie looks like a future slot receiver for us, and I love his story. Not love his story, but I love how he's been able to come back to the story. It's a better way. He looks like a future slot for us that you can definitely be comfortable with him being not a focal point, but a starter. We're getting significant reps. And
I mean, you have a core. You have a core there now.
Yeah. With Garrett, Mechie, Adonai Mitchell could be a solid wide receiver 4 if you can get a bigger guy as your wide receiver 2. Like, I mentioned in the chat, I don't know where I land yet on do the Jets go get quarterback this year or next year. And frankly, I won't know until I know who's in the draft. For sure. And even then, I may go back and forth.
Darts, bro. Take one each year.
You should at some point. But with that core, if you bring Brees back, and the way that Brees has been playing, he's been playing a lot better since the trade deadline. It's like a lit a fire under him. Like, all right, if I'm going to be here, I'm going to work my ass off. And he's been running harder. He's been playing better. You kind of feel comfortable with the offensive line the Jets have, those weapons, get one more wide receiver. That's a decent group for a young quarterback to come into. So
you just keep watching those IU games.
Yep. Cardinals, Buccaneers, man. I was so high on the Bucs.
It's hard when you're playing the Rams at this point in time.
But the Bucs have lost how many straight?
I don't know. It's been a decent amount.
Yeah,
Baker's also not healthy. He's had shoulder problems basically all year, and it manifested itself again.
Yeah.
He is questionable this week, I think, with a mild AC joint sprain. He's not ruled out yet, but it is leaning to Teddy Bridgewater being in this game. So if you got Jacoby Brissett versus Teddy Bridgewater, I am not watching. You can if you're a psycho.
What are they saying about Jonathan Gannon there in Arizona? Because I saw him, he's like on the hot seat, probably going to be fired. I saw that on some list, and I was wondering, like, is that the reaction down there? Does that feel about right?
It's more so curiosity on what will happen. Because on one hand, it's like, it's Jonathan Gannon, they haven't had their own guy yet at quarterback. They haven't even really had the opportunity to even try to get a guy yet because of what they've been tied up in.
Regime, right?
And they missed out on Caleb.
So but at the same time, they thought at the end of last year, which wasn't necessarily a good year, but it wasn't like terrible. They at least wanted to see some improvement off of that, and it has been instead a decline. So it's like, and the GM as well, Monty Ossenfort, came in at the same time. Their draft picks have not turned into, like, I don't think there's a single Pro Bowl or All-Pro out of his, like, 28 draft picks or something like that he's made.
That's tough.
It's like, but also there's some other crazy stat about Cardinals coaches. Like, they do not last more than 3 to 4 years or something like that. I think, like, Bruce Arians was one of the longest tenured coaches or something like that. And it was only like 4 or 5 years or something like that. So, there's kind of, it's not necessarily like calling for his head or saying he should stay one way or the other. It's just like, I don't know, just kind of weighing the options, weighing how big of a rebuild it needs to be next year.
5 years. Arians was there 5 years.
I think that's one of the longest, if not the longest, at least in recent history.
Was it Ken Wisenhunt that went to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
And then he was gone shortly after that.
And then I think they got Bruce Arians after that from the Steelers.
Yes. Yes. No, from the Colts. Bruce Arians was the interim head coach for the Colts when Chuck Pagano was going through chemo and all that.
Then it was
Andrew
after that was after the Steelers. He was an OC for the Steelers for a minute.
But yeah, some people calling for Michael Wilson to be wide receiver 1 on the Cardinals.
He's looked solid. He's made a case. I don't know if it's just because
I don't know. There's a difference between being wide receiver 1 on your team and being a wide receiver 1. I just don't think. I think he's the first thing I said and not the second thing I said.
Yeah.
But
just because he's number 1 on the team doesn't mean he should be. Yeah. He's a solid wide receiver, and Brissett's been able to get the ball to him, and that's one thing with Brissett is he's been able to throw it around. That's not been an issue. It's just
I think Brissett has done a couple things. He's high. First, he's executing pretty well. Obviously, they're still losing games.
It's like an off-brand Winston.
But he's also poking holes in Kyler's entire existence, and frankly, probably the offensive coordinator, because it's like, hey, Michael Wilson was getting basically no targets with Kyler, and this has been going on for, he's been on the Cardinals for probably 2-3 years at least, with basically no production to show for it, not even like a glimpse. And now Brissett gets in there, and he looks like a solid wide receiver. And there's other parts of that too, like being able to throw the ball down the field, spread it out to different targets. Like he's poking a lot of holes that make people not have faith in the organization and how it's being built. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, if Baker's not playing, I mean, the only thing I'm looking for is Ibuka and his offensive rookie of the year odds, and does he get closer to that? Actually, I'm curious. The next game is Jaguars-Titans.
Jaguars above average, Titans terrible. But
who do you think is the offensive rookie of the year favorite right now?
If it's not Ibuka, then
I thought it was Ibuka.
I would
FanDuel.
Judkins? No, it feels
Tetaroa McMillan.
Yeah.
Plus 130. Ibuka's plus 230. Darge plus 300.
I mean, Ibuka hasn't really done anything in a while.
No. Travion actually has better odds than Judkins right now. Travion has plus 1,700. Judkins is plus 3,500.
Travion. Tets got 56 for 783 and 5 touchdowns. And
McMillan's been playing better as of late. Like
48 for 749 and 6 touchdowns. So.
Like when the Panthers win, usually McMillan plays a role in that. Or big
they're very similar.
Jaguars, Titans. Titans bad. Jaguars are in the playoff hunt.
I just said that basically.
Yeah, I'm just reiterating it. There's nothing else. The Jaguars might be the worst. I don't know if they win another game this year.
The Titans, you mean?
Did I say Jaguars?
You did.
I meant Titans.
Their line was 5.5 over under. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
I mean, they finished only a touchdown away from the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Final score.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Speaking of Seahawks, Vikings Seahawks. JJ McCarthy might be the worst quarterback I've ever seen, and that's coming from a Jets fan. That says a lot.
Statistically, he is second worst in like 25 years behind Jamarcus Russell.
In some categories, yeah. Which is funny because Zach Wilson was like in that same chart or those same statisticals.
Pretty bad.
He's bad, man. He's bad. I know I was saying like you can't give up on a guy after 5 games. Now it's 6 games. I still think you got to play him the rest of the year, but
you do. You have to give him a chance to see if he can.
Year. Not next year. That's probably it.
You've got to give him competition next year. I'm not saying you cut bait next year because you did spend a first-round draft pick on him, but you've got to. Well, he was self-benched. He had a quote-unquote concussion. So if he doesn't play this week, then we may not see
concussion with no identified source.
Steelers
far
moved
as
on from
when the
Kenny
concussion
Pickett
happened.
in after year 2, and this is JJ's year 2.
I mean, the Jets moved off of, well, year 2 technically, but only 1 year playing. Like, JJ's is a weird, depending on how you want to look at his. Zach Wilson, they made the Aaron Rodgers trade after Zach Wilson's second year.
Yeah, I mean, there will be somebody on Minnesota's roster next year. There will be somebody else.
Kyler Murray.
That would be something.
Seahawks are going to win this one.
Yep. And what are they favored? Also Offensive Player of the Year. We talked about Offensive Player of the Year. Gibbs.
JSN.
It's going to be JSN.
He's pretty good.
He is really good, isn't he?
Oh, Jonathan Taylor?
Actually, no. Well, Jonathan
Probably not
Taylor's a
recently.
favorite. Jonathan Taylor is a favorite at minus 115. JSN is right
Except those
behind
odds
him
have
at
come
minus
down in the
110.
last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten closer. And JSN is on pace to break Calvin Johnson's record. In 11, 12 games, he already owns a Seahawks single-season receiving record.
Yep.
That one's pretty crazy.
That's wild.
He's on
It's
pace
not like
for
they've
Calvin.
been known for slinging the ball around in the.
No, but it was
bad.
DKs. And
You still had a lot of Russell Wilson years where he was throwing for 4,000 yards. You know, I mean, they never really had a guy. I mean, that was like a lot of Doug Baldwin and stuff, but
Tyler Lockett.
no hate on Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett, but they're not exactly striking fear into the defense.
Sidney Rice.
Percy Harvin, Terrell Owens for like a second, I think. That was a long time ago.
Jerry Rice?
Was on this. Jerry Rice was a Seahawk.
Anyway,
Seahawks favored by 10.5. They should be able to take care of business. The only way they don't is if J.J. McCarthy finally is able to complete a forward pass.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't believe in that one happening.
Max
Raiders,
Brosner.
Chargers.
Next
That's
man
right.
up.
Next.
He's probably not the answer either, but you can try.
Raiders,
if you want.
Chargers. Raiders Gino got sacked 10 times.
They're
He's-
bad. They are terrible. They
Chip
might
Kelly
be
just
worse. I would like to
Kelly
see
was
a
just
Raiders
fired.
versus a Titans game.
Do you?
I
Do you really want?
just for the memes, just to see how many all-purpose yards Chimere DK can get. That's what I'm tuning in for.
He's on pace to break the single season record.
I know, man. He's a weapon. He's just in everything that they do. So.
I know
but
a lot
this
of-
one, the Chargers will score a lot more points than the Raiders will.
They
and
should. Chargers fans are not happy with their OC, Greg Roman. I don't know how I wound up on Chargers.
How many fans they got? Like 2?
I don't know
Got
how
one
I
out of
ended
2?
up in like Chargers Twitter, but I did for a hot second because they were complaining about Greg Roman. And
They have a lot of
actually,
injuries.
I think it started with a Ben Johnson thing, and it was a Chargers fan that was like, "Oh, we had him in the building, and we ended up hiring Harbaugh."
Marion Hampton is returning to practice this week.
That's
Dillon, just real quick, the Raiders and the Titans did play this year.
That's tough.
20-10 Raiders.
what week was it?
I guess I'm going back and watching that game.
What week would that have been? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
Oh, wow.
Let me see how many yards Chimere DK had.
Chargers
remember
are favored
watching
by
it.
9.5.
I remember watching it.
I don't remember.
Yeah, Chargers are winning this game. While you figure that one out, Bills Steelers.
Oh, this was before DK had his breakout, though. He wasn't a focal point yet.
These two fraudulent teams are going to be battling to see who's more fraudulent than the other. The Bills are on a win-loss streak. The
So
Steelers
is
are trying to get to 9-8.
They are also on a win-loss streak. I am not going to say much about this game. I'm not looking forward to it. The Steelers have shown me they can beat anybody and they can lose to anybody, and at the end of the day, I don't think any of it matters. The Steelers get out coached every week by brand new coaching staffs all the time. The time for Tomlin needs to be over relatively soon. He's a fantastic coach if the game was still played in 2005, and it is not. This should be a fun game. But at the end of the day, my will for the Steelers is. I'm still a Steelers fan through and through, but my will is waning. It is waning. Yeah.
Bills favored by 3.5, and I expect them to bounce back because they lost last week.
Aaron Rodgers is going to play. My only consolation is if we were going to lose, at least we lost to the Bears. Steelers still control their own destiny, even though they're out of the playoffs right now. And Rodgers was going on like 5 weeks in a row of playing worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So my only hope is that maybe this acts as a little bye week. He gets a little recharged. He comes back ready to play. We are down our left tackle, and we are down somebody else. Derek Harmon will be out for this one, so that's depressing.
Not having your starting left tackle to protect for a 41, 42-year-old quarterback is
should be fun, shouldn't it?
Not ideal in November, especially.
Darnell Washington in there. It'll be all right.
Honestly, you probably should, but he actually let up the 2 sacks against the Bears. So.
Good.
Move on.
Yep. Broncos Commanders. I don't know. I still think Broncos offense is at least fraudulent, but they keep winning.
Because their defense is really good.
Defense is good.
It very much reminds me of the 2022 Jets, where the defense was very good, but Zach Wilson was holding them back. It's just Bo Nix not holding them back nearly as bad as
Bo Nix is much better than Zach Wilson. Yeah. The Commanders are terrible, though, so this shouldn't really matter too much.
Commanders are
kind of a dud of a Sunday night game, to be
6.5,
honest.
which I understood why it was
all the prime
made a
times
Sunday
is
night.
Thursday.
Yeah, or Friday at 3
This
o'clock.
was supposed to be, two quarterbacks from the same draft class. They both made the playoffs last year. Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix,
Commanders
year
are
2.
overrated.
And, well, like we've mentioned a couple times, what do you expect when you invest in a bunch of old guys and build the oldest roster in the NFL?
Yeah, no. Old and expensive is not a good combo. So.
And then the Monday night game, Giants-Patriots. This could be fun. Jameis Winston has a chance to make this fun.
He will throw the ball a bunch everywhere to everybody.
Is Dart not coming back?
I don't know. He might. Probably should by then. But
I mean, I know the Giants just fired their defensive coordinator, so that's something.
GM's still in town, though.
It is.
Either way, by this point in the week of football, we will be all very full. We will be a lot of football days in a row. These final 2 games probably aren't.
It'll be Monday night. I won't be that full. Just average.
You still might have some leftovers still.
Bullshit.
I don't know, but
Possible.
all right. But after watching games on Thursday, Friday, the game on Saturday, a Sunday slate, by Monday, it may not be.
Territorial Cup on Friday, too.
May not be up for this game when it rolls around. That's all I'm saying.
It'll be post-Survivor Series Monday Night Raw, so depending on what happens there, I might have my attention elsewhere.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Again, we're thankful for everybody that has tuned into the channel. Make sure you continue to tell everybody that you know that like sports as much as we do to check us out. We're anywhere and everywhere, all at Party Chat Sports. One OH. I got to get that out.
You're not getting that back from anyone.
I know.
Go blue.
I was wondering where your allegiance was.
Go blue, baby. If I had to choose, I'm a Georgia fan, but if I had to choose, it's go blue for sure.
You knew he was gonna go that way.
I know. I know. I was waiting for him to say
I've leaned that way for quite some time. I feel like I've projected that the past couple of years.
You definitely have. When it's just Cam and I in the chat.
He would die before letting Cam see him say go Bucks.
He would.
That's facts, actually. That's facts. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's all enjoy a full slate of football, full stomachs while we're eating and watching. Let's have a good week. Thanksgiving's here.
Enjoy. Be thankful.
Football is amazing, and I'm thankful for it. So until next time, peace.
Go blue.
OH.